So we have arrived at our next job. It's in Charlotte, and it's a koi pond renovation. This pond is over 20 years old and has gigantic koi that are over 20 years old. So pretty spectacular. So let's go check on the pond down here. I already see good news. She says she was complaining about a leak and having to fill the pond a lot, but this is where the water level was yesterday because it was on top of our liner. So we're good there. The leak must have been from the old stream. So we're good there. The water level's good. Fish are okay. We're gonna transfer those fish into 500-gallon tanks this morning. And we're gonna be on our way to giving her just a beautiful, beautiful pond.
But before we drain the pond, we got to get some things accomplished. First off, we got to see where our skimmer is going to be set. And you can see in this tropical jungle-like atmosphere, that's where we're going to set it. So we're marking out where we're going to put this skimmer, and then we'll go from there to cleaning out some debris from their old stream. This is really the purpose of the job. The stream was just filled with small rocks. Also had a lot of these bricks that were moving away. The homeowner wanted to keep them, so we will. Just some things that we need to do to make sure we're ready for our bigger one-man size stone to come in. Really hot temperatures. We got this nice fan to help us along, so we'll be more comfortable. And here comes the liner. We're ready to start rocking.
All right, so around the pond, the sight view is really obstructed by so many plants. This right here is the oldest plant in the world. This is horsetail rush. And then she's got some lilies in here as well. She wants to repurpose them somewhere on her property. So I'm just putting it in these planters, and then we're gonna thin out and improve the sight lines of the pond so she can actually see her pond, and more importantly, see her fish. Explanation is needed. I'll say that to my man Griff. Tomorrow, after we drain the pond, we're gonna trim this palm tree up a little bit, make it to about that, so we're not getting this overgrowth, this blocking view of the pond and blocking view of our fish. All right, so the guys are getting out our portable 500-gallon fish tank, and we have two of them, and we're going to use two of them because these fish are so big. So now that we've got the fish out, we're just cleaning up the pond, the debris in it, and dirt. Perez is in the lower section with our sump pump, drain the excess water out, while Raphael cleans between the rocks and just gets rid of a lot of sediment between there. We're concerned that the palm tree might have punctured the liner with roots, but it looks okay so far. We'll take a harder look at that when we're really able to get in there, and I'm gonna cut up vertically some of this tree so it improves the sight lines around the pond. So the client was saying that she suspected a leak in the pond. Well, we found it. A tear at the bottom of the pond in the corner. So we'll use our patch kit and get that patched up today, and she'll be good as new.
So here we are. Our fish are stored away in the fish tanks so they can be safe during this renovation. The guys are working on leveling out the bottom dig for the skimmer. The skimmer is a very important piece. The lady didn't have one. That offers you mechanical filtration to protect your pump. So Raphael's busy digging out and compacting, leveling the skimmer. Very important to get it level so the water entries from side to side are level. Also, you don't want the skimmer dipping forward, but he's comparing it to what the water level is going to be in the pond so we get the right height on it. One of the things I thought about when we first encountered this job was how overgrown some of the vegetation was, and you really couldn't see the pond. Well, now I'm going to get in there with some loppers and trim up this palm tree so the fish aren't so hidden. The homeowner will have a view to see these gigantic koi that are really specimens. So that's what we're doing here, just making sure to improve the sight lines so you can really see a pond, see the stream, and really enjoy your water feature. So here we are, now we're gonna dig in our BioFalls. Now the BioFalls is the heartbeat of the pond. It's where everything is laid for the groundwork and the lifeblood system of the pond. What the BioFalls does is give you biological filtration to keep your water clear. So here we are installing it, moving out some of our stream, and then starting to lay the first waterfalls. Because this is a 25-year-old pond, we weren't able to get an excavator in to use our signature bigger boulders. So we're using one-man-size boulders, which will look fine. It's gonna really improve the look of the stream. Much more natural looking with these Tennessee fieldstone boulders. Here we are working one end for the first waterfall. We're gonna level that boulder from side to side and then have it dipping about a 1/4 inch forward so the water's flowing off of it and nothing's going under, because we're gonna backfill with foam so it'll make it just watertight. We've got our BioFalls set. Notice how we've added some dirt all the way around it to give it some height so we could have more waterfall drop. I wanted to protect our palm tree, so putting some boulders around it so it doesn't get too sunken in the dirt. And then we use boulders to disguise around the BioFalls so you don't see much of it, so it can look as natural as possible. Now this is where we start attaching the liner to the BioFalls. Raphael and Perez are just pros at this. Cleaning off the liner, cleaning off the front of the BioFalls where the screws will go in. We're gonna make it really good so it'll take the silicone well, so it'll adhere well, and we'll have a nice tight seal between the liner and the BioFalls so there are no leaks. Putting down a heavy coat of silicone, and then the liner will be attached to that, and then we'll start putting the screws in around to get it tight and sealed.
So we're gonna have the water coming out of our BioFalls. It's gonna come off this side, but it's also gonna come to here where you have this cut. And I did another little stone here, and it'll just go. That's what Brian Helfrich likes to say.
We weren't able to put in rocks on the side of the pond, so what we did is try to dress up the rocks up top. Here we have the stream all rocked in with our brown river slicks. That's looking good right there. This is looking so natural, and now we're ready to do a little extra work there. Look how Raphael is working on the sides here with Perez's help. Just kind of dress it up. We trimmed a lot of the plants back to open up sight. Raphael's working with some horsetail rush right here. Interesting fact, horsetail rush is the oldest plant in the history of the world. So he's again trying to take care of the vegetation while just kind of trimming it back and opening up the sight lines for a better view of the pond. Raphael's trying to seal off the waterfalls with foam so no water gets underneath the waterfall boulders. We want it all flowing over. It's also adding to the security of the rocks. They're not going to move and fall into the pond, possibly hurting the fish or tearing a hole in the liner. Now, we don't want to just leave dirt around the pond. It's going to get messy and sloppy really quick, so we're going to put in mulch. We're not doing any landscaping for this job. We did transplant a few of her ferns in specific areas, but now we're just laying down the mulch, making sure it looks good and natural. Now, while other manufacturers might have a black top, one thing we love about Aquascape is they have a faux rock to put on top of their skimmer. So it's nice and light, making it easy for you to be able to get inside of the guts of the skimmer and clean the filter, things like that, empty the debris basket. So it just makes it super easy, the maintenance, while also making it still look very natural. Now, attention to detail not only includes the project itself and making sure it looks natural, but the cleanup afterwards, making sure everything is spick and span, hopefully better than you left it. Here we are, just picking up all the fronds we trimmed from the palm trees, hosing everything down on the dirt because we've been stepping over the retaining wall, making sure everything is pristine so the homeowner is really glad they hired a company that pays attention to detail. Here we are filling up the pond after Raphael's cleaned everything out and we drained it. Now we're actually filling the pond up. We're getting excited. We're ready to see a waterfall run. Here it is, the moment all waiting for as a builder. Turn that waterfall on, hear it, see it. I love, even though the fact we couldn't get huge stones in, these Tennessee fieldstone boulders give it a real natural look. Very clear water, making great sound. This is what I enjoy about pond building the most, getting that sense of satisfaction when it's running. Great job of disguising the BioFalls. You don't see any of the plastic pieces here, which makes it even more natural looking. I just love the setting here with the palm tree and the various tropical plants. Gives it such a unique setting considering this is Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, people are always asking me, boy, you do grandiose work. Hoaglandscape does these gigantic ponds. Well, not always. See, this is just a 6-foot addition to the stream, so it's very small, fits a budget. The entire project here ran $7,500. So she got a new skimmer, a new BioFalls, and a new stream. So for our client, what this stream renovation and pond renovation did for her was beautify it, naturalize it, just make it look more realistic so she can enjoy a more natural look and just enjoy her fish and them living the aquascape lifestyle. Now just look at the client's giant koi. Look at all that flow, giving them way more aeration, oxygen for them. They're going to be happy koi. And keep in mind, these koi are 25 years old. They are huge. So now that you can see that we do small projects as well as big projects, we're happy to talk to you and have a conversation about either. So if you're wondering what you could do for your home in terms of adding a water feature, big or small, call us at 980-522-6166 and let's have a conversation. If you liked what you saw here, please bless us by liking, sharing, and subscribing on YouTube. And you can also see our work at Hoaglandscape on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks for watching. We look forward to hearing from you.